Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third and final lesson in the book on proportions, lesson 3. And so we're on page 18. So start there. You will need a calculator. So find one now. And the first page is homework. So we're using sense-making strategies to compute this. And so you don't have to use a calculator for this page. You will need a calculator, I should say, for later pages, because this one is kind of easy to do. So if you have 50% of $240, you can figure you have half of $240. And some of you can do that in your head, right? If you can't, then you can use a calculator. 150% is 100% plus half plus 50%. So 100% is all of it and 50% is half of it. So you can add all plus the half that you got from this section. So I'm just giving you ideas. 1% is 100th part. So think about that. What's the 100th part of 240? And then 0.5% is half of 100 parts. So when you find 1%, you take half of that and you get a 0.5%. And then when you find the 100th part, the 1%, to find 15%, you can multiply that answer by 15. And here, 17%, if you find the 1%, take that answer and multiply by 17. So those are some of these strategies that we're talking about. Definitely do this for homework. I think that's easy enough. And you know how to figure this one out. 24 out of 40 problems correct. What was her percentage? It's the part over the total. Use your calculator. Part divided by the total, always. All right, so that page 18 needs to be done at home. Be prepared to come to class with answers. Don't come and think we're gonna do everything in the classroom. I expect you to be having some answers ready. If you understand some of the questions, that's better than doing nothing. All right. Page 19, gratuities. Gratuities is a word for tip. So that's in your vocabulary quiz. It's asking what's another word for tip, I think. So I'm going to get you started on that. So this is notes plus homework. So it's kind of half and half when I do that. Okay, so gratuities is tip you leave at a restaurant. Usually, many people provide services for which they receive gratuities or tips. Better service frequently gets the worker a better tip. List 3 jobs for which workers might receive tips. So you got one. Your job is to figure that one out. You can ask your parents if you like, or you can look online. I would rather ask parents or somebody that you know because it's better to talk to people. All right, so complete the table. This book loves tables, so let's look. We got $40 is our amount that something costs, maybe a bill at the restaurant, and you want to leave a 10% tip. So now how much do we leave? Okay, so that means it's the 10th part. 10% is the 10th part of 40. Or you can do 40 divided by 10, right? 40 over 10 is 40 divided by 10. And I'm showing you different options here. You can do 40 divided by 10, Or you can change the 10% to a decimal and multiply. So when you change it to a decimal, remember you're moving your decimal spot. You start at the back and you move your decimal 2 spaces to the left. And then you can multiply 40 times, this means times 0.10. So if you use your calculator, either you divide by 10 or you multiply by the decimal version. Either way, you're going to get $4. So you leave $4 tip. And so now you're asking what's the total amount? You got to add them because you add the tip. You don't subtract it from your bill. So you have 40 plus the $4 is $44. Okay, so first we have, this is your percent. This is in dollars, and this is in dollars. All right, let's try another one. Here we're getting the clue. The clue is we're leaving $12 tip on a $60 bill. Remember, the fraction you want to set up is the part over the total. And the part is usually smaller as the total. So the smaller number over the bigger number. So 12 out of 60. And then you divide, use your calculator. Please do that now. 12 divided by 60. I'm trying to make that, trying to move that over on the side. Part over total. 12 over 60 is 0.2 or 20%. So you move your decimal 2 spaces. It's always 2 spaces because the 100 has 2 zeros. And so it's either to the left or to the right. The way you're going to learn is by practicing. So we got the percent, and now we're adding up. We got the $60 bill plus the $12 is 60 plus 12 is $72 total. That's your total amount. You add the tip. First you find the tip and then you add it. This one is weird. We got the amount, the total amount, and we got the other amount. So the total amount and the other amount, the difference would be the tip. So the difference means you find 99 minus 90. So the amount of the tip is $9. Yeah, so the total amount and the bill, there's a discrepancy, there's a difference, and the difference you find by subtracting. The word difference means subtracting. The bigger number minus the smaller number. And then we need to figure out what's $9 of $90. So remember, you're dividing the part over the total. And when you do that, 9 divided by 90, you get 0.1. Move your decimal 2 to the right. That's 10% tip. Okay. And I believe the rest you do for homework. Yep. So I showed you all the scenarios here. So all of these are homework. Okay. Look at the example. So in this column, you want a percent. In this column, you need a dollar amount. And in this column, you need a dollar amount. So when you get your answers, I do like you to box them if you have room. That always helps to make it stand out what your answer is. Okay, so good luck on this page. And that's page 19. The one that I'm really looking at is this one, 101 and 100. So there's a dollar in tip. The tip is a dollar because it's the difference. So now you're figuring out what percent is $1 out of 100. That's pretty interesting if you can figure that one out. Page, and then on the bottom, nothing, no question. Okay. Next page is page 20, and it's now talking about markups and discounts. And on the very first page, when we did vocabulary words, you're I already explained what those words mean. So it does help to study those words when you do your vocabulary puzzle. And markup is your adding number, you're increasing something. So it's going up, the price is going up, right? So you add. Discount, you're taking something off, so you subtract it, yeah? Discount, subtract, markup, add. Percent, decrease. So first you find the percent, then you subtract it. Most markups and discounts are in percent. So first you find the percent, and then you have to add it if it's an increase to the original price. So the original price, if it's a markup, or an increase, you find the percent and add it. If it's a decrease, you take the original price and subtract it. So these 2, 3 are homework, but so up here, I'm still gonna write notes. So make sure you always write this down. And these 3 you can answer yourself. Woohoo, your favorite clothing store is having a big 20% off sale. Is it a discount or a markup? Is it a percent decrease or a percent increase? Okay, so you pick from one of these 4 and decide which is it. Here's another one. Oh no, your favorite music site is increasing all of its song prices by 5%. Is it a discount, a markup, percent decrease, or percent increase? And then after that, you need to name 3 situations where a percent increase or a percent decrease might occur or happen. When do you think it happens? You have maybe encountered it yourself. Maybe your mom and dad encountered it. Ask them if you're not sure. Come with 3 situations. So 3 different situations where you have a discount or a markup, an increase, and list them here. And I want to hear yours, stories. Okay, another famous table. So over here, I want you to write to find percent. If the questions are harder, you need a calculator for that. Change percent to decimal and multiply. The key is multiply. So when we change a percent to a decimal, we move the decimal 2 to the left. Nope. No, yeah, yes, 2 to the left. We're changing percent to decimal 2 to the left. And then you multiply with your original price. So if it gets a little harder, some of them you can do in your head, like 10% of 100 is simply 100 divided by 10, which is $10. So $10 is 10% of 100. So the amount comes in here. This one has a dollar sign. This one has a percent in this column. So the number you're getting has to have a percent sign. Here, the number you're finding has to have a dollar sign. And here also dollar sign. So that way I know you got it. Okay, $50 and it's 100% markup. Oh, first of all, we got to finish here. So it's a markup. That means you add 10. So you have 100 plus 10 gives you your new amount, $110. Okay, so first we found the percent, which is this, and then we have to add it if it's a markup to the original, this original amount. Look it over for a second. All right, $50 is what we start with. It's 100% markup. So that means you're going to have all of $50. 100% is the amount, the same amount. So now the increase, a markup, is you have to add it. So the old price plus the new markup gives you the total amount you pay. So that's $100 now. That's a big markup or increase. And now we're having a discount and subtract. A discount you subtract. But first we have to find how much are we subtracting. 10% of 50. You can kind of figure 50, 10%, excuse me, it's $5, but let's use this method right here that you got your calculator. 10%, when you change it, is 0.10 because you're moving your decimal 2 spaces to the left. 1, 2, then it's right here and you can add a 0. And now you multiply 50 times, this is a times operation. Use your calculator. 50 times 0.10. I want you to try it. You get $5. So it's a $5 off. So now we subtract it. $45 you pay. So first you find the percent and then you subtract that amount. Okay, look it over, especially this right here. This is a fast way to find your amount of change. $20, 20% discount, we're subtracting it. Find 20%, change 20% to a decimal, 0.20. Then multiply, so your original amount times 0.20, use your calculator. This is better. 20 times 0.20 is 4. So that's $1 here. This is $4 off. Remember, amount of change means you found the dollar amount. So you got to differentiate between what's my number mean, percent? No, because we know it's 20%, so it can't be now 4%, it's $4. In other words, $4 is 20% of 20. And now we have to subtract it, 20 minus 4. The new amount is $16. This is what you pay. All right, look it over. Use your calculator. Make sure you do this yourself. Lay your calculator flat on the table. Don't hold it in your hand. Okay, and find those buttons. It doesn't have to be the parentheses. Your button on the calculator will be the times button. It will read 20 times 0.20. In algebra, we don't use this. In writing, we use these parentheses. Or I can use a little dot. Okay. So I'm going to change this to make it calculator friendly for you. Just this once, so you understand that's what you put in your calculator. Okay. And now we have another issue. We got an increase of $1. This is not the percent. This does not mean it's a 1% increase. We have to find the percent. This is where part over total comes in. We have to write a fraction here. So this is the part, this is the total. Use your calculator and divide. 1 divided by 20. 1 divided by 20, when you put it in your calculator, is 0.05. Now we're moving the decimal 2 spaces to the right. So that's 5% discount increase markup. So we're adding $1. We're not adding 5 because that's your percent. You're adding the dollar. We found the percent. It's a 5% increase, but when we find the new price, we're just adding that dollar. This is what you pay at a 5% increase for $20. So in your head, keep it straight. When am I having percent? When am I having a dollar amount? Yeah, the percent is not what you add. You're adding the actual dollar amount. Let's look. A decrease of $1. We know that's 5% the same because it's $1, but now we're going to subtract it. So if you have a decrease, now you're only paying $19. $13 increase, meaning we're going to add something. We're going to add $13, but let's find the percent. It's the part, the smaller number out of the big number. 13 divided by 65 is what I want you to put in your calculator. Equals. You will see 0.2 or 20%. So it's a 20% increase. So it's going up. It's getting more expensive. But when we add to find the new price, you're not adding the percent, you're adding the dollar amount. You can only add the dollar with the dollar. And that's $78. And this one is weird. Look at 22 cents. This is 22 cents. But we're using this decrease, so we're subtracting it. Let's find the percent. 0.22, not the 22. I'm just showing you this is what this number means. It's 22 cents. Out of 22, use your calculator and divide. And when you do that, and I'm giving you a minute to do it, 0.22 divided by 22, you always divide top to bottom in that order. And then what do you see in your calculator? Now the calculator use is just like your fingers are getting used to the keys. So the fingers now are not quite sure where are those keys, but the more you use it, the more you're becoming familiar with your calculator. So I'm urging you to use it instead of waiting for me. And you should see in your calculator view 0.01 or 1%. So it's a decrease of 1%, but what we're adding to the or subtracting is not the 1%, we're subtracting the dollar amount. And this is another good exercise to put in your calculator, 22 minus 0.22, and you should get $21.78. Okay, so this was a little lesson on markup and discount and the percent. All right, page 20, you can pause and rewind. Okay, make sure you make sense out of it. That's the key. You don't want to just copy mindlessly. and not understand. If you're stuck and you're like, how on earth did she get that? Put a big question mark next to it. And then next time we meet in class, have the courage to say, I didn't understand that. And then we'll go over it. 21, page 21 is on sales tax. So sales tax, I told you in the beginning, is something you add. Always add, unfortunately, never take away. So in your own words, describe sales tax. I'm giving you a little, you can fill this in. I'm going to give you my take on it. First of all, this is homework, notes plus homework. So you're going to do a little bit of this. In your own words, describe sales tax. I'm letting you think about it yourself, but I'm going to say it's an amount added to your bill. The only thing you don't pay sales tax on is groceries, food. You don't pay sales tax on food items at the grocery store unless they're prepared. Like if you buy a prepared chicken at Albertsons and they already cooked it for you, you have to pay sales tax. If you cook it yourself, you don't. Or if you go to McDonald's and buy food that's prepared, you pay sales tax. So the only thing you don't pay sales tax on is food that has not been prepared, like groceries. An amount added to your bill, it's a certain percent. It depends on where you live. And the sales tax is collected by the merchant and then it's paid to the government. I'm going to say to give to the government. And it could be local, like the city, or it could be the state, but that's as high as it goes. City, county, I don't know if the county gets sales tax. I don't think so. It's city or state. The county gets property taxes. Okay, sales tax is a markup. You always add it. Sales taxes vary from city to city because they include a state tax rate as well as local city taxes. And what do the city need that money for? Well, the police, when you call the police or 911 or the ambulance or the fire department, they come, but the sales tax pays for that. Yeah. Sales taxes are added to the basic cost, which is called subtotal of items. So you're going to find the sales tax and add it. Okay, so let's look. We got some bills here, some receipts. So you're at the bullseye. Oh, this is complete each cash register receipt. Use a calculator and round appropriately. So remember rounding, we want 2 decimals. So you need to look at the third decimal because dollar amount has dollars and cents are always in 2 decimals. So therefore, you take the third number and you round up or down. If the third decimal is 5 or higher, you round up. If it's 4 or lower, you round down. All right, let's look. Bullseye Department Store in Chicago. In Graft glue, $8.99, shirt, 20. So you add these two. Use your calculator. I got $34.98. So that's the subtotal. Now we have to add the sales tax, but we have to find it. It's 10.25%. So you need to change percent to decimal. That's always the first. Don't forget. So 10.25, you're moving your decimal 2 places to the left. You can add a 0. So that's 0.1025. You don't need to round this because this is not a dollar amount. You're rounding dollar amounts for dollar. You always round to 2 decimals, but not here. You leave that number and now you multiply. So 34.98 times 0.1025. And now do that. Remember, this is a times button on your calculator. You don't need to use the parentheses. You just use your times button. I'll give you a second, put that in, make sure you have your numbers correctly, double check. Lay your calculator flat on the desk, on the table. You already made a mistake. 34.28 times 0.1025. Did I do that right? Nope, I keep doing it wrong. Okay, one more time. It's probably because I'm holding it in my hand. 34.98 times, it's the part I'm having a hard time with is putting in that decimal. 0.1025. There it is. So now do not round this amount. The sales tax amount, we're not going to round yet. I'm going to leave it. I see it's 3.58545. So you're saying, well, she's not rounding this? No, we're rounding the total. So you're going to add these two, 34.98 plus this number. See, this number should still be in your calculator. There's no need to retype it. You simply hit plus, and it's taking that number, 34.98. And you have, now we're going to round, watch, giving you a short lesson in rounding. Your number looks like this, 38.56545. So we're going to cut off here, 2 decimals. The 5 is higher, is going to round up. So we got 38.57. And this goes away. That's rounding up. So this is my total amount that I have to pay. Yeah. I decided this one is homework. So this one, you're filling in yourself. Remember 8.25%, the decimal is this. This is what you multiply with. Now we're doing this one together on the bottom. So skip this for right now, or you can pause the video. So sometimes receipts show unit prices. This is the price for one item. Unit price is price for one. So we got 2 of them. So you have to multiply by 2. Sorry, my phone is exploding here. And I'm back. So 2 times 549 is $10.98 for both of them. 1 times 750 is 750. And 3 of $1.98 drinks are together. You multiply by 3, $5.67. And now you add these 3. That's your subtotal. So use your calculator, do the work. I come up with $24.15. And now we have to find the tax. It tells us here, is this in Washington, D.C., where sales tax is 5.75%. So that's that. But remember, we got to change it to a decimal. So you can add a 0, move your decimal two places. This is what we're multiplying with. So times 24/15. So this is your decimal as a percent multiplying. This is a multiplication problem, equals, and then you should have, I didn't even do it, so I got to do it myself. 2475 times 0.0575. I got, so now let's not round at this point. The government wants all their money. Each little rounded, if you round down too soon, they lose money. Haha. So I have a feeling they don't want you to round until the end. 1.423, 125. So that's a little bit more than $1, right? So now where do we round to decimal? So I'm going to look here. This is where I want to cut it off. The 3 is less than 4, so I can just drop that. So it's total is 2415 plus, oh, I rounded now. Does it matter? This is a good question. Would it matter if I round here or later? I'm going to try that out. It's a good exercise to try. I want to add these two and this, and then record both numbers before, no. Round early. Let's see if the numbers are the same. And then round late, later. Okay, so I'm going to round early and just add these these numbers, 2415 plus $1.42. So now my bill, if I round early, my bill is $25.57. Okay, and now I'm going to reverse this rounding. I'm going to erase that. What was that, 3125? So I'm going to put that back, 3125. And now add these plus 1.423125. Nope, it doesn't make any difference, but it could in some instances. It's still going to be $25.57, and this number is still a 3, so it's still rounding down. So that's a good question. Does it matter if I round? I'd like to know how they do that. So it's still $25.57. But in some instances, it might make a difference, and the government is very greedy. They want every single penny, and so they will look for that. They will have people research. When do we round? Do we round before we added or after we added? Anyways, this is what you end up paying for your whole bill. Okay, so this is your total. So this was page 21. Let's see where we at. We have one more page, 22, and that page is homework. So I have a little note here that I want to give you. And so use a calculator as needed and round appropriately. 2 for dollars. It's 2 decimals. 2 decimals. So you look at the third decimal, and that's the number you decide to round up or down. And I gave you an IXL on this, by the way, to make you have to learn how to round if you don't know, because it's important. A department store is having a sale on jackets. The original cost of a jacket that Marika wants to buy is $90. If the jacket was marked down to $72, what was the percent discount? So you're looking for a percent number here. Sales tax in Seattle, Washington is 9.6%. Here they're giving you the percent. What is the sales tax amount? So this number is in dollars, okay, for the discounted jacket. So my little note is find discount and subtract. And then after you're done with that, you have to find the sales tax, find sales tax amount, and add. So that's the steps for these two questions. Okay, and then the third question is, does she have enough money? If she has $75, will this be enough money? So you got to work this out first and see how much it costs. And then you have your receipt to fill out, and the part that you use is up here. So you put your items here, baseball pants, unit price, and there are 2 of them. And then the cost. And then you find, oh, and then does it tell you the sales tax? 8.4%. And then you figure out what the total amount is, like I showed you on the previous page. And then or down here, you're just going to finish that up. Next is this was page 22. We're going to skip this. Did I put homework? Yeah. Skip this page, skip this page. We will do this in class. Together. And then we will do this at home. Don't forget your vocabulary list. And the words are either on the next page or on the very first page. Okay, so the next page starts with your vocabulary words. You have to read it and match it up. You're looking for clues to find in the sentence what it could be. And that's it. Good luck to you guys. See you next week.